UFC Fight Night, Taira versus Park. Here's my experience.
I see my haters proud of me now. When I'm around, it's all smiles. I took over my whole town.
To kick this thing off, I give this card a solid 9 out of 10. I was very entertained through and through this card, but the first two fights we're going to skip over. Rafael Esteem cannot make weight, so we're not going to worry about what he's doing right now. But the first fight tonight I want to talk about, Bashi bounced back after his loss to C-Rod very, very well. Something you want to see from a young prospect, getting the first round submission win over, they was calling him a street fighter, which it looked like he was a street fighter. Austin Bashi was able to take him down, get his back, choke him out. Nice, easy, clean. Who do you guys want to see Austin Bashi fight next? I think he's going to be a very fun prospect to watch the next couple of years. Following that fight, we had Andre Pulayev versus Nick Klein. Pulayev went out there, showed him there's levels to striking, and he was able to catch him clean with a body kick to the liver, it looked like. Just shut down Nick Klein. He followed up with punches and got him out of there. Andre Pulayev is now 1-1 in the UFC with that loss coming against Christian Leroy Duncan. So not the worst loss in the world, but it is a loss. So I am very excited to see what Pulayev does next. Nick Klein falls to 0-2 in the UFC, but I do think the UFC probably give him one more shot. Following that fight, we probably had the weirdest fight of the night, in my opinion. We had Mr. Rodolfo Vieira versus Tresean Gore. That man, Rodolfo, he took him to him standing up on the feet, which is very surprising. It's like Tresean Gore just did not want to throw hands that night, and Rodolfo said, you know what, we don't got to go to the ground. I can throw hands if you're not going to throw it back. And it was pretty much 15 minutes of that, and Rodolfo Vieira was able to get the win. Tresean Gore drops to 5-4 in his MMA career, with his last couple of fights being losses. And I don't think there's going to be too many more sightings of Tresean Gore in the UFC. In the prelim headliner, we had Mr. Rian Nakamura taking on Nathan Fletcher, and Nathan Fletcher just couldn't stand up with Rian Nakamura, which is very surprising. Rian Nakamura, after his last fight, realized he had to do more than just trying to take people down, and he showed that he can finish people on the feet. And the second body kick finish of the card, that man, Rian Nakamura, is going to be very, very exciting to watch, and I'm glad he got back in the octagon. Hopefully get him back into 2025 at least one more time. Opening up the main card, we had Mr. Kevin Viejos taking on Danny Silva. Kevin Viejos look like he's on a whole different level as a lot of these guys. Even though Danny Silva did look like he's a faster guy, it just looked like every time Kevin Viejos was able to throw, he threw in rapid succession. He threw multiple combinations, and he just landed the harder, stronger punches. Danny Silva was dancing and celebrating a lot of the fight, but in my opinion, he was losing the majority of the fight. He lost the majority of the exchanges that they had, and Kevin Viejos, I don't know who he gets next, but the fight of the night, it was topped twice, and that's very, very hard to say because this fight was very entertaining through and through. But Kevin Viejos, who does he get next? I have no idea, but I will be watching because I know I will be entertained. Following that, we had Mr. Neil Magny having an early birthday versus Aleksei Dos Santos. Aleksei Dos Santos was able to control and pretty much dominate the entirety of the first round. In the beginning of the second round, it was looking the exact same way, but Neil Magny was able to turn the clock, get him off of him, punch him a couple times, and punch him out as he got the second round TKO finish and extend his welterweight record of the most wins in the UFC in that division. Neil Magny still getting it done at age 38. Following that fight, we had Kira Hossa versus Nora Caro. This fight pretty much a 20 or 15-minute wrestling match on the side of Hossa. I mean, she looked good for what it was. Not the most exciting fight, but she dominated the entirety of that fight. And in the first fight of the night, I said first because there's two of them, we had Mr. Esteban Ribovics taking on Elvis Brenner. This fight, absolute classic, barn burner through and through. They was both throwing hard punches, trying to put each other out. It looked like Esteban Ribovics had control of the fight, but Brenner would not go away. He stood there, held his own, in the pocket, throwing back. It didn't matter what Esteban Ribovics was hitting that man with, and he was hitting that man with the kitchen sink every single time. In every exchange, it looked like Ribovics was winning the majority of them. And another thing I want to say, Why in the world is Esteban Ribovic still in the Apex? He showed his last fight against Daniel Zellhuber in the UFC Sphere that man should never be in the Apex again. And he just put on another banger showing that he should not be in Apex again. Hopefully the UFC and the matchmakers pick up on this and put him in front of live crowds, because we're getting absolute banger after banger from Esteban Ribovic, and we do not need to be wasting those fights in the Apex. And in the second fight of the night, we had Mr. Chris Duncan, the perennial underdog, taking on Mateusz Rebecki. This fight, absolute banger. And I know the last fight wasn't banger, but this one, you had no idea what was going to come next. And I'm be honest. I did not expect that type of fight from Chris Duncan. I know Chris Duncan had heart. I knew he would go through the fire. I did not know he'd go that deep into the fire with a power puncher like Mateusz Rebecki, because that man, Chris Duncan, laid it all out there on the line. 3 fights in a row where he's been the underdog. 3 fights in a row that he has won. And these fights are getting better and better and better. Who does Chris Duncan get next? I think he's ready for somebody in the top 15. And I cannot wait to see that fight, because I think Chris Duncan might be a real dog in this division. In the main event of the night, we had Taira versus Hung Shum Park. Taira showed that there is levels, and Park just not there yet, very young in his MMA career. Park got taught this lesson by Taira. Taira got taught this lesson by Brandon Royval. It's a repeating cycle. I'm pretty sure Park's going to come back a whole lot better than he was in this fight. While Taira said he has the skills to be champion one day, and I can't argue with it. His stand-up in the first round, phenomenal. Dropped him with a right hand with 30, 40 seconds into the fight. Controlled him on the ground. Second round, got his back. Second round again, cranked his face, got the submission. Absolute dominant win from Taira. What did you guys think about this fight night? What would you rate it? Who was your favorite fighter on the card? What was the biggest surprise on the card for you? Let me know down below in the comments. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Big good people. Peace.